So today been fixing timing issues on that, and just managed to get a little bit of spare time at the end of the day to work on the Jetta again. So gearbox is back out. I've now cut the 4-branch manifold off, so we're ready to put the engine in, which I've had a clutch come for today, put the gearbox on, bolted it all together, found a starter motor because I needed a 2-wheel drive on. So I've got a starter motor, gearbox attached, it's all bolted up ready to go. So let's put that in there and then we can start making stuff fit. So some new parts have arrived for the Jetta. We've got a nice Satch standard clutch plate, a new release bearing for the inside of the gearbox. Get this bolted back together, and now we can put the gearbox on and finally put the engine back in the car. There we go. Some new pressure plates on, new release bearing in there. Yes, it's untidy in here, but I want to get everything working before I start titivating things and making things look, pretty. So let's get this put together. Then I can pull the loom through, start wiring, get all the wiring stuff done, and then we can have it started. Hopefully we'll have it started by the end of the week. We'll be running, but we won't be driving because I will need brake master cylinder, clutch cylinder, a rad. I've got no rads, and then once those bits are back in, the Jetta will losing daylight now, but take these gloves off so it doesn't look so scruffy. And another. But for the first time in 4 years, the Jetta now has an engine back in it. It's all mounted up. I just need to attach everything to it, get it running, and give it a drive. But yeah, she's coming together. So before we lose all the daylight completely, last thing was I've just pulled the end out of the power steering pump, and it directly screws onto the original 1990 power steering line, which just makes life a lot easier. So the power steering is going to be dead easy to fit. If we look at the back, standard BAM heater lines, they virtually reach anyway, so they're going to be dead easy to fit. I'm going to run wiring loom through this big grommet here. This just needs connecting up to my master cylinder, and then drive shafts are already in and bolted up. Easy peasy. Hopefully, I need to find the fuel tank. I've got a Mark III Golf GTI fuel tank that should bolt straight up to this. Fit a Mark IV Golf fuel pump in it to run this. I'll put an uprated pump in while I'm at it. I think I might even stretch the budget to a track flag exhaust system. So I've been rooting out some relics from across the top of the booth. We have the big bumper for the GTI, and we've got a Mark III fuel tank with a Mark IV fuel pump already in it, ready to go. Today I have ordered something that is not very budget and not very budget friendly for a budget friendly TT. Don't know what I'm on about. Budget friendly Jetta. It's one of the things that I felt like if I was going to do this, I can't really do it without spending the money on it because I think they're so good, and that is a full track slag system. So 3-inch downpipe, 2.5-inch cat back, and we'll get a track slag charge pipe on the go. I've already ordered them today, and I've ordered some big stickers to put on the side of it because I like to support track slag, and I think what they do is brilliant. So that's just insane, isn't it? I'm not even realising this. But yeah, so the car is going to be probably liveried up at the end, and it'll just have maybe some nice track slag logos at the bottom of the doors, boost fabrication middle of the doors, and then a stripe or something. I'll come up with something later for that. But yeah, it will be sort of like a bit of a boost fab car. So wish me luck. I felt like I washed myself more than I washed anything else there. But yeah, that's the Mark III fuel tank all cleaned up. I need to find a cap for the top, and then that can go straight in. So CE2 fuse box. I've got the whole wiring diagram for all the CE2 stuff. This is my little book. It's got all sorts. This has all the information you'll need to do a PD swap, 180 swap, anything. I've got the little red book, means we're wiring. I'm missing probably the most important part. I've put all the fuse box back in, obviously wired everything back in. There's obviously a couple of other things that I'll have to go through as I'm doing it. But I noticed I'm missing 3 plugs that are quite important. I think the G1, 2 and 3, I think, that's off the top of my head. Which are the clear plugs, or white plugs, whichever one's what I say. They are the engine loom plugs. I could really do with them, because I'll need to tail off them to wire up the engine. So I'm going to have a look now, see if I can find some. If not, I'll have to order some, which may slow things down a little bit. As you can see, I'm up in the top of my workshop, on top of the booth. Well, next to the top of the booth. That box there has got all the interior trims for Jetta. That's the last remaining door card that I'm missing. But I'm up here because you can't see it because the light's terrible, but I have boxes full of wiring looms from Mark 3s, Mark 2s, and hopefully I'll have the 3 white plug connectors to go in the C2 fuse box, which I can wire my engine into. This looks ridiculously messy, I agree, but hopefully within this mess, this rat's nest, is the loom I need. Already I can see C1 plugs that are going to be no good. That's C2, so hopefully there's enough C2 in here. There's also a Mark 4. Oh, speak of the devil. There you go, there's one. The other one's there. Just need the 3rd one. They're the plugs I need for my engine conversion. Plug into the back of my fuse box. So yeah, I'll route all this through, put all the crap I don't need back. Oh. The Jetta's made its way inside now, so we can do a bit more work on it, because out here it is fucking. So get this up in the air, have a look underneath, probably looking a bit rusty and crusty. We'll fix them areas, get the fuel tank back on it, and start looking at wiring and getting this thing running. The rust bucket is in the air. I say rust bucket because yeah, there is a couple of issues here. That needs repairing. Jacking point on this side needs repairing, and then we'll scooch over to this side here, and there under the, that's the seat rail that needs repairing, and then the inner arches here in the inside of the rear, they need doing. But other than that, she looks not too bad. The area for the fuel tank's pretty clean, so I can get that put on at least. Ooh, ooh. Needs fixing. Covered in crap already. That's because we're making jacking points on the Jetta. This side's pretty much done. I'll give it a good clean underneath, so you can see it's quite clean under there. I'll prep it up and get it painted underneath. So, got this bit welded up. Screen's not very good, is it? Give you a rub. That's a bit better. Yeah, so that's bit's welded up. Most of it's pretty clean under here now. We now have a jacking point back attached. So, as you can see here, got a bit of primer on her. There's my lovely repair. Other lovely repair. And the 3rd lovely repair. Bit of primer on it, put a bit of white on, and then once it's all dry, fuel tank can go back in. And white paint absolutely everywhere, even in my hair. Oh, I'm gonna need a good clean up tonight. But the underneath of the Jetta is white. Probably not the greatest job in the world, but it'll do. All the rust's now repaired, and it looks acceptable. Which is lovely jubbly. Once that's dry, I can get the fuel tank in, and then I can tidy up all the bits around it. But yeah, I think that's about as far as I'm going to get today. I was hoping to do a bit more, but obviously I found a bit more rust, so that had to be repaired first. But at least now the rust is repaired, I can put the interior back in because there's no more welding to do underneath. Jesus, I've got myself covered, haven't I? Look at that. What a mess. Oh, for God's sake. Just have to show off this receding hairline, won't I? Oh my God, look at that. It's like I've got bleach blonde highlights. Sexy. But yeah, as far as we are now, the underside is looking somewhat okay. All these rusty crusty subframes I'll probably pull off at some point in the future. But like I say, I'm trying to keep this project together and, you know, as little trouble as possible. So to do that means putting it all together, and then if I want to fix something in the future, I'll just take that one part off, replace it or repair it, and put it back on, and that way it stays as a full car and it's not in a million pieces in my workshop pissing me off. You can see where I've repaired over there in the corner and this corner here. So the parts are on order. I'm waiting for the brake master cylinder that goes there, with the reservoir with the bleed off valve that goes to the clutch cylinder, which is here. Then the exhaust and stuff should come